When my father went to be with the Lord and I stepped up to pastor the church, every thought told me that I couldn't do it. I wasn't qualified. I didn't have the training. I was too quiet. If I would have believed that report, I would have missed my destiny. That's why the scripture says, be careful what you think. It gives us a warning. Your thoughts are setting the limits for your life. All that came to my mind were negative, fearful, intimidating thoughts. I had to do what I'm asking you to do. I didn't just keep thinking those thoughts because they showed up. I didn't dwell on them, believe that they were true. I tuned them out and got in tune with God. On purpose, I thought I can do all things through Christ. I am strong in the Lord. I've been raised up for such a time as this. Father, thank you that I am equipped, empowered, and anointed. Thoughts told me, nobody's going to listen to you, Joel. You don't have anything to say. Instead of believing those lies, I would say, Father, thank you that your favor is causing me to stand out. Thank you that people are going to like me and be drawn to me. When they see me on television, hear me on the radio, they can't turn me off. If I had not gotten in tune with God and thought these power thoughts, I wouldn't be where I am today. When thoughts tell you you've been through too much, you lost a loved one, that business didn't make it, your friend walked out on you, nothing good is in your future, don't believe those lies. Get in tune with God. Father, thank you that you have beauty for these ashes. Thank you that what was meant for harm, you're turning to my advantage. When you're in tune with God, He'll pay you back for the wrongs. Isaiah said He will give you double for the unfair things that have happened. Instead of thinking you've seen your best days, you can say, Lord, thank you that double is coming. Thank you that my latter days will be better than my former days. In the scripture, there was a young man named Mephibosheth. He was the grandson of King Saul and the son of Jonathan, David's best friend. Mephibosheth was born into royalty, destined to one day take the throne. But at 5 years old, his grandfather and father were killed in a battle. When word reached the palace, the nurse who took care of him picked him up and took off running, afraid that the enemy army was coming to kill him. In her haste, she accidentally dropped Mephibosheth, injuring both of his legs. He became crippled for life. And sometimes well-meaning people can drop you. This nurse had good intentions. She was trying to help him, but she dropped him. Years passed, and Mephibosheth ended up living in exile in a city called Lodabar, one of the poorest, most rundown cities of that day. The name Lodabar means without pasture. It was like a wasteland with no greenery, no place to grow crops. Mephibosheth was the grandson of the king. He had royalty in his blood. He had lived in the palace. Now he was living in the slums, barely surviving. One day, King David was thinking about his friend Jonathan. He asked his men if any of Jonathan's relatives were still alive so he could be good to them. A former servant of the house of Saul came and told David that Mephibosheth was still alive. David's men went out and searched through the slums of Lodabar and finally found Mephibosheth, who was now a grown man. They had to carry him back to David's palace. I'm sure that Mephibosheth was afraid, thinking that David was going to punish him or even kill him because his grandfather, King Saul, had tried to kill David. But it was just the opposite. David was incredibly kind to him. He said, from now on, you're going to live in the palace with me. Every night, you're going to have dinner at my table. I'm going to restore to you all the land that belonged to your grandfather, King Saul. Mephibosheth was overwhelmed. He couldn't believe what was happening. But the way he responded to David's kindness shows us why he was living in Lodabar all those years. He said to David, why would you be so kind to such a dead dog as I am? Notice his weak, defeated thoughts, saying, I don't deserve to be blessed. I've had too many bad breaks. People dropped me. I wonder how many of us are doing like Mephibosheth. We are sons and daughters of the Most High God. We have royalty in our bloods. We are destined to reign in life. But because we've been dropped, somebody did us wrong, we went through disappointments, things weren't fair, now we're living in Lodabar, so to speak, thinking we don't deserve to be blessed. We've made too many mistakes. We got off course. We brought this trouble on ourselves. We're thinking we have to sit on the sidelines of life and just make it through, except that our dreams will never come to pass. Can I encourage you? You have to get rid of that dead dog thinking. Nothing that's happened to you has to keep you from your destiny. You may have had some bad breaks, but that didn't stop God's plan for your life. And you have to do your part. Quit thinking limited, defeated, unworthy thoughts, and start thinking victory thoughts, abundance thoughts, favor thoughts. Put your shoulders back, hold your head up high, and remember who you are and whose you are, a child of the Most High God. Get in tune with Him. Like David's men went searching through Lodabar, God is looking for you today. He's saying, I'm about to pay you back for the wrongs. I'm about to open new doors, turn negative situations around. Like Mephibosheth, you're going to be amazed at the goodness of God.